Hello, listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and welcome back to my podcast. In this episode, I will be discussing gym anxiety, what it is, why we get it, and how to overcome it. Stay tuned to hear more. As we all know, exercise has many benefits. It can release endorphins, reduce anxiety and tension, as well as enhance mood and increase self-esteem. So avoiding exercise can lead to serious negative health outcomes. The National Institute of Health published an article that details a study done to see the correlation between social exercise self-efficacy, gym avoidance, and exercise importance in college students. The study found that individuals with higher social anxiety levels felt less effective when exercising in public, which means they are more likely to avoid working out in a gym. For some, gym avoidance can also be described as something called gym anxiety. I spoke with psychiatrist Dr. Astik Joshi to get a better grasp on the term anxiety.
Anxiety basically means responding out of proportion to a stimulus, which is out of character. It's sort of an over-response. It should impair your functionality. Anxiety becomes a problem when it gets into the functionality of your life. In other words, some amount of anxiety is normal. If somebody had a life where the anxiety response would kick in and make them either fight or flight.
Dr. Joshi went on to explain why he believes some people struggle with anxiety that's related specifically to the gym.
The people who have gym anxiety are anxious individuals, and gym kicks that anxiety response. Why it does that would be determined on a case-by-case basis. It might be the environment, it might be performance stress, it might be something called agoraphobia, fear of closed spaces, but it has to be that situation specific. Medically, it would be anxiety. The gym is just the precipitating factor.
He explained that there are ways both medically and non-medically to overcome anxiety.
You can basically categorize it into medical treatment and non-medical treatment. We need to know that anxiety is not abnormal in all cases. Some people are caught up in situations that would just invoke anxiety just because of the situation. You can deal with the anxiety part of it non-medically. I think having the right physical health, having the right environment would go a long way for the body or the mind to not go into an anxiety response. If nothing works, fortunately, in the last few years or so, we have had medical alternatives. There's medications of all kinds. If nothing works, come to a doctor and take medical help.
I spoke with certified personal trainer Brittany Dennis to see just how common gym anxiety really is.
We have a lot of clients in personal training that is the biggest thing they have to overcome is being fearful or having any kind of built up anxiety of just walking into a gym even. It is real. Definitely. I am the same way. And I see a lot of people that it is difficult, especially being a female. It is a lot harder to just walk into a gym.
Ms. Dennis went on to suggest a few ways in which she believes are effective in overcoming gym anxiety.
A couple things that you can do kind of to relieve that anxiety is to exercise frequently. It has been shown that the more comfortable you are in doing like an exercise, the less likely you are to have that gym anxiety. So for example, if I know how to use a squat rack really well, I'm not going to have anxiety going into the squat rack. Whereas if I just don't know how to use a certain machine, I'm not even going to go near that machine. That's what gives me my anxiety. So kind of just getting in there frequently so you're more familiar. Also, you'll see a lot of people start outside of the gym with working out. So start running on your own, start working out on your own. So that can kind of help you get over that anxiety. And then also working on like your body image or self-image. A lot of times we have anxiety because we are worried about being too big or being too small and people not accepting us. So you feel like you're being very judged. And so that is a really big cause for that gym anxiety. So starting out on your own, getting comfortable with what you're doing. And then, of course, the more you do it, the less likely you are to have that anxiety.
Lastly, I spoke with Kyle Schindler, a staff counselor and the director of MindSpa services at Texas Tech's Student Counseling Center, to get a better understanding on why some people experience anxiety relating specifically to the gym.
I would say there can be, and this is just me kind of hypothesizing more than anything, I would say that there's probably multiple reasons why someone would experience anxiety going to the gym. So for some folks, it may be body image reasons, or it could be related to self-consciousness, related to body image, and the values in the gym being fairly strict about that being a quality. It can activate that for people. I would say it could be generalized anxiety. So for example, not knowing how gym culture works. So for me, I think one area of anxiety is the idea of having to figure out the gym etiquette. It's less about there being people and more so just there's a rule set that I don't understand, and it's nerve-wracking to think about having to figure that out on the fly. I think that for me, I would say that it's maybe not necessarily a unitary thing, but a variety of reasons why someone could be anxious about a gym setting. It could just be that there's so many people, it's very crowded, and some people don't like that.
Mr. Schindler gave a piece of advice on how he believes is the best way to overcome gym anxiety.
Mindfulness is a really good anxiety management strategy. And so for someone who's thinking, oh, well, there's so many people, this is nerve-wracking, right? Mindfulness can be an easy way for you to just kind of observe that that is the case and to not feel anxiety about it, because it's just, that is what it is, right? You're having emotions, but you're also not like overly evaluating things.
Whether it be body image issues, discomfort with lack of space, or not knowing how to use gym equipment, there are a multitude of ways to overcome gym anxiety. Thanks for tuning in, and a big thank you to Kyle Schindler, Brittany Dennis, and Dr. Astik Joshi for contributing. Join me next time.